This is a brand new version of Eevee with 10 new evolutions based on the different types of magic found in Owl House. It's given to trainers at the beginning of their journey and evolves based on which magic track they choose to study. But the best part, it's only one of the 80 new Pokemon that I made for this magically chaotic Owl House inspired region. Now, I personally would pick the Potions track, which upon graduating would cause Eevee to evolve into Vitmion. Inspired by the head of the Potion Coven Vitamir, this poison type lets its trainer brew potions on the top of its head that erupt into the air in battle to apply its dubious effects to the foe. Evryon is the fighting type beast taming track reward. A ferocious beast like Everwolf, who if not expertly handled will attack and rip apart everything in sight, but the right trainer can direct this aggression to their advantage. But Hedyon is the polar opposite. A fairy type Hedy Cutburn healer that supplies its trainer with a never-ending supply of magical mending bandages from its regenerating tail. Rainion is a music-loving Rain Whispers reward for Bard track trainers and has the ability to change the notes on their sheet music like tail to give its trainer the music notation needed for their catchy cast. Taryon is for the plant magic track and has the potential to be the strongest of all the evolutions as long as it's constantly maintained with proper watering and soil monitoring. Darion is a dark type made for the Abomination track. Their sludgy exterior requires its trainer to be an utmost expert in Abomination magic to control, requiring a Darius Damone level of dedication and aura to master. Adrian is a fiery illusion track evolution that can make duplicate versions of itself like Adrian Gray Vernworth using its tail's flame. And while this does allow it to always outnumber the foe, its trainer has to be ready to handle the heat. Orikion belongs to those in the Oracle track and uses its psychic third eye to gaze into the future before relaying the vision to its trainer, who must be ready to make the best decision in response. Maceon is a ground type based on the lesser-known construction leader Mason, who uses its large and incredibly strong beard to rapidly move around Earth, creating defensive structures for its trainer to give battle commands behind. But what happens if the trainer doesn't pick a track? Introducing Luzion! Based on Titan Luz from the series finale, this form is capable of using every school of magic, but is so sporadic and hard to control that every single time it attacks, a different form of magic will be used, making it easily the most random and fun evolution to battle with. But if only there was a way to combine the fun of random chance with one of my favorite hobbies like collecting Pokemon cards. Oh wait, there is! Today's video sponsor, Courtyard! Courtyard is a free app and website where you can open up various packs that contain everything from sealed TCG products to super high value graded slabs. And look, I am not an expert at Pokemon cards at all, but what I do know is I can never find any, especially graded ones. So not only is Courtyard a great way to dodge all the scalpers and vending machines and figuring out how to grade cards, and you can just get right to the fun part of owning the card, but it's what you can do after you get the card that's truly the best part, as you can either sell it back instantly with their guaranteed buyback offer at fair market value, or I can store it, track it and my collection's value over time, sell it myself, or of course have it sent to me with free shipping. It's seriously awesome, so make sure to use the link in my description to check out Courtyard and use my code FILLERS15 for 15% off your first purchase. And you know what? Just for fun and to thank y'all for checking out Courtyard, I'm going to be giving away these 3 valuable cards. So if you use Courtyard, make sure to leave your username somewhere in the comments down below, because I might just send you this Kabuto, this Celebi, or my favorite card, In's PP Up. So make sure to hit that link, and huge thank you to Courtyard for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back into it. Because while Owlie and Eevee is awesome, we still wanted to make 3 traditional starter Pokemon that the player could pick after. Starting with Guspart, a tiny red chameleon based on Gus's Palisman that despite usually having bright red skin, can actually change colors to blend in anywhere. Its evolution gains the psychic typing, giving it slight mind-altering abilities, while its final stage can produce a heat wave around itself, which it pairs with its psychic energy to create mirage-like illusions, making it impossible to tell where the Pokemon is truly standing. Mucosa is a feline water starter based on Amity's Palisman Ghost. Its evolution is a bit less cute, now covered in abomination goo, but its final stage turns that goo into hardened poisonous armor and a reinforced bladed tail. And rounding out the trio is Clobuzz, a little bee grass starter inspired by Willow's Palisman Clover. And while its first stage is shy and buzzes away rather than fighting, its Evo is always ready for a brawl, as its final stage becomes a confidently royal queen bee with vines inspired by Willow's braids and her vine whipping nature magic. And once you pick your starter, it's time to actually venture out into the Owlian region. And one of the first Pokemon you might find is Owlthorn, the Owlian region's early game bird who has a split evolution based on the 2 Clawthorn sisters. If Owlthorn reaches level 15 in the wild, it'll evolve into Roughowl, a more disheveled owlbird hybrid based on Ida's curse form that evolves into a true sky terror with long striking gray hair. However, take that same Owlthorn into the city before it hits level 15 and you'll instead get Raveneer, who's a much more reserved raven to reflect Lilith's curse that becomes a dark and stealthy beast that plucks prey off the ground without a sound. Inbeetle is our early game bug based on the fire beast. Its middle stage is a standard cocoon, but you might want to keep your distance once it reaches its final stage, as their stingers can melt straight through even the most protective clothing. This region's first regional variant is Owlian Cubone, who's actually based on King because their designs and backstories are way too similar not to. Owlian Marowak is even based on King's dad, bushy beard and all, but the best part is its new regional evolution, who's super intimidating and based on the giant skeleton of the Titan. And since we did King, we have to do its creepy stone guardian, Jean-Luc, who actually doesn't evolve but still reflects Jean-Luc's body amalgamating abilities by having a defense form, making it just like Aegislash. Rotiverb is a normal ghost type early game rodent based on the Echo Mouse, and this super unique typing comes with a super unique ability, as its evolution can eat books before replaying the plot of the story out of its projector-like head as a movie. Cardinip is an alternate early game bird based on Flapjack, whose middle stage gains a glowing light blue energy before becoming a somber flying ghost type to reflect Flapjack's heroic life-saving sacrifice. Chillump is a cute little ice type who's actually super chill, pun intended, but its evolution becomes absolutely enraged at the sight of anyone near its mountain peak home, dragging them into its cave and sticking them to the wall to eat later, just like the Slither Beast. Consinge starts as a tiny fire fairy type, a typing we've never seen in real Pokemon before evolving into Pyrogolem, a giant flaming golem based on Inner Willow. Then there's this Pokemon that I don't even want to mention, but its evolution does show its true colors. Bumpimp is a dark type imp based on the talisman worn by Principal Bump, whose evolution is a much larger and scarier bull demon resembling Bump's old boss, Principal Faust. Owlian Duskull is a yellow mass spirit based on the Emperor's Coven Scout, and while Dusclops continues that theme, once it reaches its final stage, its mask turns gold and becomes the Golden Guard, serving as the Emperor's right hand. Owlian Grimer is far more humanoid than its original counterpart because it's based on the Abomination, and instead of evolving into Muck, it instead evolves into a poison steel type based on the Abomaton. Owlian Marini, meanwhile, is a psychic type that channels its powers through its tentacles, with Toxapex launching a constant volley of Psybeams and Psycho Cuts from its fist-like tentacles, just like the power-hungry Kikimora. Morph is a bit of a strange Pokemon, as it's sort of the Owlian region's version of Ditto. It's based on V and has the same ability to consume energy attacks before transforming into the enemy that launched the attack. And just like how after Ditto transforms, it keeps the same goofy face, this Pokemon's transformations keep the ear. Owlian Hoothoot is what you've been waiting for because it's based on Hootie. Noctowl even sports the same eye seen on the front of the portal door, but its brand new regional evolution truly embodies Hootie with a much longer neck and a powerful attacking build. Owlian Zubat is a lot more pale and frail than its original counterpart. However, Golbat is extremely protective of its pre-evolution, even taking in lost members and raising them as its own, because instead of evolving into Crobat, it evolves into Martawing, whose back wings resemble the hair found on the talisman protecting Bat Queen. Speaking of creepy, Owlian Orthworm has a much freakier looking monster design based on the giant pale green worm from the intro, and we even gave it a brand new evolution that's even more disturbing. But we've saved the most powerful Pokemon in the Owlian region for last, because now it's time for the legendaries, starting with the legendary trio of Flap Relic, Waffloom, and Toast Alice. Based on Flapjack, Waffles, and Toast, these three totem birds serve as the embodiment of Palisman themselves, as despite being on the weaker side when in battle, they have the incredibly interesting signature ability, which allows them to be equipped to a key item in the player's inventory, allowing them to join the player's party as a bonus member who can be summoned from your bag. Meaning, yes, by using one of these legendaries, you can take 7 Pokemon into battle. But even 7 Pokemon might not be enough to control our next legendary, Coslector, a cosmic type, our fan-made type based on the Collector. And just like the Collector, this puppeteer Pokemon is incredibly strong, but also super childish, as its signature ability grants it an insane base stat total at the cost of never being able to pick your own move. That's right, no matter what move you select, Coslector will just use the attack that it wants as if it's playing a game. But you're going to need all the ridiculous power you can get, because waiting at the end of the Owlian region is Bellosus. Based on the terrifying, monstrous Emperor Bellos we see at the series finale, this Pokemon despises the magical residents of the Owlian region and seeks to destroy them all, and is so ridiculously powerful that trainers will have to master all of the Owlian region's battle techniques if they want any chance of defeating it. If you like today's video, then you'll love this playlist of videos where we made entire regions based on Adventure Time, Avatar, Gravity Falls, and Over the Garden Wall. As always, huge thank you to all the artists that made these Pokemon come to life. They can all be found in the description, so make sure to go check them out. And I'll see you all in the next video, but until then, peace.